My God, I hate drugs.
Those two surprise announcements by the president in a speech this afternoon as the biggest news last night swirled around the palace, the closure of Boracay for 6 months. The president dropping two bombs. First, that he accepted the resignation of Justice Secretary Aguirre. Until last night's cabinet meeting, no official confirmation from the palace that there was an offer to resign by Aguirre or that the president would fire him. Aguirre was scolded by the president much earlier when a self-confessed drug dealer, Kerwin Espinosa, and an alleged drug lord were cleared of preliminary charges by government prosecutors. Now, the other big announcement that a two-star general who is Metro Manila Police Chief or NCRPO Chief and Academy or PMA classmate of PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa, Class 86, is going to be the next Chief of the Philippine National Police. Director Oscar Albayalde is 54 years old. He'll retire on November 8, 2019. He will have 1.5 years at the helm of the police force, but it's still unclear when he's going to take over the post. De La Rosa was originally extended until late this month, the latter part of April, but then the president announced last month or in February that he was going to be extended indefinitely. De La Rosa was supposed to retire last January at the age of 56. Here's the president in his own words about Albayalde as the new chief PNP.
Si Albayalde lang sa PNP. Kasi tinanong ko yung mga taga Davao, I mentioned two other names. Sabi, ayan sir, mahusay yan sir, mabait. Tinanong ko si Albayalde, sir, masyadong estricto. Oh, yan si Albayalde, ang inyo. Then Albayalde is the man for you. So the stricter, the better. I accepted the resignation of Vit Aguirre, my fraternity brother, as Secretary of Justice. I am now in the hustings looking for a replacement.
Let's speak now with presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. Good evening, sir. Secretary Roque, thank you for joining us.
Oh, Pia, yes. It's always a
sir, well,
pleasure
let's
to
begin.
break the news with in your show, no?
Yes.
The new Secretary of Justice is Secretary Bernardo Guevara. He is a cabinet member. He has the rank of a secretary, but the designation as Deputy Executive Secretary, no, Senior Deputy Executive Secretary. This appointment paper was signed today, and the way I understood it is that he will assume the position right away. Now, the President also asked me to announce that the next Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines is Lieutenant General Carlito Galvez, no? And he will take his oath together with General Albayalde on April 14.
Wow, okay. Two big announcements. So first, let's go. Sir, punta muna tayo kay Galvez kasi kumbaga mas bago yan dahil may chismis na no, about Guevara. Carlito Galvez, in the last appointment, nung pinili po si General Ray Leonardo Guerrero, nabanggit na po yung pangalan kasi ni Carlito Galvez, ano? And now, in other words, para bang hindi naman bypass, no? He was passed over. What made the president choose Carlito Galvez? Was it Marawi? Was it the 5 month war in Marawi?
Well, that must be. He actually did not give me any reason. He just asked me to announce. No? But I suppose that's also one of the reasons.
All right. So, April 14, Carlito Galvez. He's also, if I'm not mistaken, Class 85.
Class 85.
He is
yes,
Western Mindanao Command Chief. Very much visible during the 5 month war from May to October last year in Marawi. A very visible soldier, like many call him. So, like you were saying, there was no explanation given as to why the choice is Carlito Galvez for Chief of Staff. Why not the others? There was word about Bautista and two or three other officers.
Well, the instruction was just to announce now the appointment of Secretary Guevara and soon-to-be Chief of Staff Galvez.
All right. Bernardo Guevara, sir, as DOJ Secretary, sabi po nyo, today lang po napirmahan ni Presidente ang kanyang appointment papers. What time was that, sir?
I had the pleasure of being present as the appointment paper was being signed. It must have been about 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago, so after the speech.
After the first speech, there was an earlier speech. We went to the ante room before going to the current engagement that he has right now with the rights trainers.
All right. And Menardo Guevara chosen because, I mean, apart from what you've already said.
He has been serving the palace, the Office of the President, as Senior Deputy Executive Secretary with NACOP Cabinet, and his proven competence as a lawyer and proven integrity. The President said that he chose someone who is a person of integrity for one of the most sensitive departments in the bureaucracy.
So can we talk more about Oscar Albayalde? Odi Albayalde is the new chief PNP. Earlier, the president was saying that he was talking about the contenders, no, for chief PNP. Kausap niya yung mga tiga Davao. Tapos sabi daw ni presidente, binanggit niya yung pangalan ni Odi Albayalde. Tapos medyo stricto yon. Biglang sabi ni presidente, yun ang pipiliin niya. Can you give us a little bit more background as to why the choice of Albayalde for chief PNP?
Well, I know he has been head of the National Capital Region PNP, no? And he's also very visible in the war against drugs. I've had the benefit of having a long conversation with him on the war on drugs. He seems to be on top, actually, of the war on drugs, no? As well as the war on terrorism.
All right. Sir, can we talk about April 14? That is a Saturday. Why is that the date? So in other words, ang mangyayari nun, dalawang change of command ceremonies, one in Aguinaldo from General Ray Leonardo Guerrero to General Carlito Galvez, and another in Camp Crame from General De La Rosa to General Albayalde. Why the choice of that date, and how are you going to manage that?
I have no idea, but I will be taking the oath at the same time.
Sir, same time? Hindi naman po same place.
Same time. Same time and same venue, no? It's not unusual that new members of the cabinet take their oath together. I took my oath together with Secretary Duque
okay.
and Secretary Anya.
Yeah. Sir, I'm sorry. What I was referring to was the turnover from General Guerrero to General Galvez and General De La Rosa to General Albayalde, because there is a change of command ceremony that the military and police practice as tradition.
Well, I think they will be separate. No, that will be separate. But the instruction given was the two of them can take their oath on April 14. So the change of command could take place on separate days.
Okay. So can we talk about Vit Aguirre? When did he submit that resignation letter? Last night we were talking about it and you said, wala pa. I remember you said, kausap po ninyo si E.S. Bingbong, Medialdea, at wala pa raw yung resignation letter. Ano po yung
It was
nangyari?
today. It was submitted today.
What time was that submitted?
He didn't mention the time anymore, but he said that he accepted it as soon as he knew that it was filed with his office.
Okay. So it was sent in today. So was there any indication last night in the cabinet meeting? You know, after the cabinet meeting, na-release na nga po yung mga pictures, ano? It was like a very happy cabinet meeting. All of you singing happy birthday to the president, presenting him with a cake. And then you had Vit Aguirre and Bebot Bello flanking the president, standing beside him on either side of him. There didn't seem to be any inkling of any problem at that moment.
Well, let's just limit to the information given by the president today that he accepted the resignation. And of course, he says that it is the most sensitive of the many departments in the bureaucracy, and he has said that he needs some.
Secretary Roque, sir. Secretary Roque. Okay, well, we're going to try and get Secretary Roque back. I had one more question for him about General Galvez as the new Chief of Staff. But just to do a little recap, Secretary Harry Roque is saying that he was authorized to make an announcement. Let's begin with the biggest news right now at this point in time. Carlito Galvez, Lieutenant General Carlito Galvez, who is the commander of the AFP Western Mindanao Command, at the helm of the war in Marawi for 5 months from May to October last year, 2017. He is going to be the new Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. He is a member of the PMA, the Philippine Military Academy class of 1985. Also, an announcement from Secretary Roque that Menardo Guevara, Deputy Executive Secretary, pinirmahan ni Presidente ang kanyang mga papeles. He is going to be the new Justice Secretary. He is going to replace Vitaliano Aguirre. Let's speak again to Secretary Roque, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sir, I wanted to ask, a while ago, an hour or more ago, when the President made that announcement about General Galvez. Sorry, no, he didn't make that announcement. He was talking about
Albayalde.
He could not, when he said, after he announced Albayalde, sabi niya, shift siya sa Chief of Staff. Sabi niya, I'm not yet at liberty to announce. Can you tell us why? What was going on behind the scenes?
Well, I think as far as Secretary Guevara is concerned, it was a complete surprise for Secretary Guevara himself. No? Actually, okay.
Sir, yung kay earlier kasi sinabi na nga ni Presidente na he cannot make an announcement about the Chief of Staff because sabi niya, I'm not yet at liberty to do so. But now, what happened between that moment in the speech and now that you're announcing it?
Well, I guess he made up his mind in between. And he asked me to go ahead and announce the new Chief of Staff.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add, sir? Any other surprise announcements you'd like to make now? Or are there going to be more?
There's another one.
There's another one?
Let's wait for the next week, please.
Next week
Too much
pa.
information.
Sir naman, kagabi sabi nyo, let's wait na lang, I'll let you know right away. Kaya lang, hindi naman pala kami. Sige na, Secretary Roque. Sige na, please. Sige na po.
Unfortunately, I work for a principal, the president, and I can't announce that he tells me to do so.
And when are you going to announce that? When are you going to make that?
Very soon.
Very soon. What is very soon? Is that tonight?
The president mentioned maybe we'll announce it next week.
Next week. And it is about what cabinet portfolio naman?
Of course, if I give you the cabinet portfolio, then you would know who it would be.
Na lang, parang sector na lang. Is it defense and security? Is it economic? Is it the National Food Authority?
Well, I have to honor my principal's orders, no? And until he tells me to announce, I really can't.
Okay, but like you said, it's going to be a surprise announcement. It's going to be some good news. In other words, this is the president taking decisive action on an issue that has been festering for so long, right, sir?
Yeah. Well, in my last interview with you, I mentioned a good news, and that good news was the resumption of the peace talks, which originally he did not want to be made public because he wanted to proceed with the discussion in confidence first, no? But somehow information leaked, so we went public with it also. No? So that was, I was going to announce that in your program as I promised, except that it was leaked somehow.
Okay, so you're not going to give us any clue whatsoever for this next announcement that you say is going to be made next week. But you're telling us that you're going to be telling us first, and you're not giving us any clue whatsoever as to what, I mean, you won't say what cabinet portfolio. So it's a cabinet. Cabinet ba or one of the agencies of government?
It's a line agency.
A line agency.
A department. It's a department. Yes. But anyway, say anything else, I might be next in the shopping block. So I'll leave it at that.
Baka kayo na yung... Okay. So wala na pong sir, wala na pong nothing else to add at this moment. What else? No, before I let you go, baka kasi mag-slip of the tongue pa kayo eh. Wala na po.
Wala na. Next week na po.
Sige po. Secretary Harry Roque, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's do a little recap. Again, the new Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines will be Lieutenant General Carlito Galvez, AFP, Western Mindanao Command, a member of the PMA Maringal class of 1985. The new Justice Secretary will be Menardo Guevara, who was until this afternoon serving as Deputy Executive Secretary. The new Chief of the Philippine National Police will be Oscar Albayalde, Director Oscar Albayalde, a two-star general, a member of the PMA Sinagtala class of 1986. He is a classmate of General Bato, Ronald Bato de la Rosa, the current PNP chief. Now it's clear. Earlier we were saying not clear when he's going to take over because Bato was supposed to be extended indefinitely. But now the announcement from Harry Roque is that on April 14, that is next Saturday, both General Galvez and General Albayalde will be taking their oaths, and that means, of course, there will be what we call a change of command ceremony. It is a military and police tradition. Change of command meaning the incumbent commander will turn over command of the AFP in the case of Guerrero, Ray Leonardo Guerrero, and the PNP in the case of Ronald de la Rosa will turn over to both General Galvez and General de la Rosa. To General Albayalde. I asked Secretary Harry Roque about schedulings because that's the same day. But what we know is that these are two separate change of command ceremonies, as always. And it is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, this is the very first time this is happening, two change of command ceremonies. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember right now. But two change of command ceremonies, AFP and PNP in one day. That's going to happen on April 14. Again, General Carlito Galvez, Chief of Staff, new Armed Forces Chief of Staff, and General Oscar Albayalde, new Chief PNP. That's happening April 14, next Saturday.